Hey guys, this is Bish and welcome back to my channel, and on today's episode of Disney Storybook Review, I have Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs classic storybook. So, Disney has recently released the Snow White live action movie. Now, I'm quite not sure how do I feel about that movie, but then I feel like I might watch that movie because Gal Gadot plays the evil queen role, and I think she's gonna nail it. But I don't know when I'm gonna watch it. I might watch it now or later when I feel like. So regarding storybooks, I have done a review on the deluxe storybook version of the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now if you have not watched that, I have linked that down in the description below. But today I am going to be reviewing these classic storybooks. Now you might be surprised, like, why do I have two of the books here today? Now I'm just bringing in just to show the differences and all that. Both of the books have the same illustrations inside. It's just a different version, published by different companies. So this one's by the Mouseworks, which was taken care of by Penguin Books in Australia, and this is by Fantastic. I call this the classic storybook version of Australia. As time has gone and as I have looked into the books, I've just figured out so many new things, and I'm still thinking that there's so much more for me to figure out, like who published what and what were the illustrations, because I did see another book with the same cover but not just these borders. It was by Fantastic, I think, but I don't know like why they changed all these, but then I think it was just new branding and all that. So yeah, let us look at the book one by one, and I'm just going to be showing the inside of this book because it's the same on the inside. So the classic storybook has this yellowish brown color themed for the background. I really like this book. It is giving that full page illustration kind of vibe. It gives that really nice vibe to the book. On the top here it says Walt Disney's in black, and it says Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on the yellow, and it says classic storybook on the white. Down here we have the main characters from the movie. We have Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs, and a few of the animal friends in there. So at the spine of the book, as you can see, it says Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a Mouseworks classic storybook, and down there we have the Mouseworks logo. At the back of the book, as we can see, it says Disney's classic storybook collection on the top. It says relive the movies one book at a time, and there are a few of the things. If you want to read that, please pause the video. So coming down, we can see there's the queen who is brewing some spills just to get rid of Snow White, and down there we have the barcode. Now, moving along with the Fantastic version of the classic storybook, these were the books that I initially owned. When I first started collecting, these were the type of books that I had, and I've been a really big fan of it. So the book, like every other Fantastic classic storybook, has that blue border on the side with the sparkles. On the top it says Disney, and on the red ribbon it says classic storybook. In the middle we have the glimpse of the characters in the movie, and it says Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and we have this beautiful picture of them. At the spine of the book, as we can see, it says Disney Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs classic storybook collection, and down there we have the Fantastic logo. So at the back of the book, as we can see, the bigger border clear this time, and we have a few of the bigger stars. On the top it says Disney and classic storybook like in the front, and we have a few things written over there. If you want to read that, please pause the video. And also down here we have the evil queen turning into this old hag who is going to give the apple to Snow White to kill her. And down here we have the barcode. There's a small copyright for Disney, and we have the Fantastic logo. So I am going to just do a little run through of this book, but I'm going to be reviewing this book only, just so that you know that it's the same illustrations inside, as you can see. So both have the same illustration. They are nothing different on the inside, even with the amount of pages and all that. So yeah, we will be looking into this book. So without any further ado, let's see what's on the inside. So as like every other classic storybook, on the first page we have these Disney classic characters. So on this page we can see Disney Snow White and Seven Dwarfs in black, and we have the Snow White. Down here we have the Mouseworks and a few of the other details. So here begins the story. Now I'm going to be focusing a little bit on the storyline. I'm not going to be reading that story. If you want to read that, please pause the video. Like every other classic storybook, the Mouseworks ones, they have the thicker pages. The other book that I showed a little bit earlier had a little bit of thinner than these ones. So the Snow White is treated as slave once her father has died. This is her stepmother, who is the known as Evil Queen. So she has this magic mirror who she asks for who is the fairest of them all. And before Snow White grew up, the mirror would always answer that the queen was the fairest of them all. But here's Snow White doing her daily chores. I just don't want to cover this so that you can be able to read the story. So doing her everyday chores, and there's the prince. She's singing. I think it's called I'm Wishing or something like that. I don't remember. I watched this movie really, really long ago. And oh yeah, I also remembered this is, I think, one of the first Disney movies that Disney has ever done. The animated movies for cartoons. So there's the queen who is getting jealous. So the queen wants to get rid of Snow White, and she orders this huntsman to go and kill her and bring her heart back. But the huntsman is unable to do that and takes a pig's heart back. He asks for forgiveness and tells her that the queen is jealous and she should run away. And this an attempt of, fear and don't know what to do, like what's going on, she runs away. I mean, I did see a few of the trailer for the live action movie. I think the biggest turn off for me was the heels. She does not have heels. She kind of has like a ballet shoes. And I think even her dress is a little bit off, I would say. So she runs away in fear and confusion. And she lands here. So it's kind of a dramatic scene. If you watch the movie, you know what's going on. I love these kinds of illustrations so much, but I mean, if you've watched the deluxe storybook, you know they are way better than these. So she realizes it was just forest and the animals who were trying to look out for her at that night that she got so fearful. And these animals take her to this small house. So little does she know that the house belongs to the 7 dwarfs. But then she goes in. I hope I'm turning the pages really quick because I still want you to be able to pause and read that story. So she starts cleaning the house, just thinking that, she can stay in the house. And here are the dwarfs. They are working in their mines they're collecting diamonds. And every day they go to work and they come back in the evening. So here is this. So there's 7 dwarfs. So the names are Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Sneezy, Bashful, and Dopey. Yeah. So Snow White, after cleaning and everything, she thinks that it's a children's house and it's children's bed, and so she falls asleep. She looks really beautiful. So the dwarfs come back and they are shocked to see the lights are turned on in the house and all that. So they slowly get in to see who had broken into their house. So they are literally talking to themselves, is it a dragon or a demon or something like that. So they figure out the rooms are cleaner, everything is clean, and then they find out that someone is sleeping on their bed. And then they just tiptoe to that place and they find out the princess. I think they realize she's the princess, and they do talk about the evil queen, and they understand that they have to protect her. So they let them stay there, and on top of that, she cooked a good meal for them. So yeah. So Snow White is really like, you gotta wash your hand before you eat. This is one of the funniest scenes that I've ever seen. She just asks everybody to check their hands, and then this is also one of the other scenes. It's so sweet. So the huntsman did pass on with the box with a heart, but then I think it's revealed that the heart is of a pig, because the mirror reveals it to her, and then she gets really angry and she decides to take matters on her own hand, and she turns herself into an old hag so that she can trick Snow White and kill her. So looking out into her, black magic book and stuff like that, she finds out a recipe for a poisoned apple, and as you can see. Now this is another scene that, gives me a real good remembrance of the movie scene. So this was really dramatic as well. I remember she going down through her stairs with that big cape on her back. That scene is really iconic. So Here is Snow White enjoying the night. So yeah, the next morning Snow White sends everybody to work, and she's still in the house, and that's when the old hag comes in. So little did she know, she's preparing pies for the dwarfs, and little did she know that that was Evil Queen with the apples. Now she thought that she could do something with those apples, make an apple pie or something. But then the birds realize it and attack her. Just look at her, she's being so cute in there. So Snow White, being kind-hearted, she takes the old hag inside and she offers her the apple and says, you know, it's a wishing apple or something like that. But the animals knew what was going on, so they run to get the dwarfs, and the queen convinces the Snow White to take a bite, and I think she says all your dreams will come true or something like that. And then she faints as soon as she takes one bite, and the queen is really happy. But then the animals have now gotten the dwarfs back and they're chasing the queen. So in this chaos, and there's rain, there's heavy winds and stuff like that, the queen is trying to get them killed by that rock. But unfortunately, she breaks that wood that she had, and the rock falls on her. So it was a tragic ending for her. But then the deed was done, and Snow White is there lying there, cold as ice. They think she's dead, and you know. But then the prince comes in, and like every other fairy tale, the prince kisses the princess and she comes to life. And then they bid bye to everybody and go and live in their castle. Now, even this scene in Deluxe Storybook is really better. Like, it's so vibrant, it's full with shadows and everything. So yeah, that ends the story, and here we go. We have the Disney classic character one more time. Yeah. So here is my review to the Disney's Snow White and Seven Dwarfs Classic Storybook. Now, yes, I have reviewed few of the Snow White books before as well. I have linked them down in the description below if you have not checked them. So just a reminder, if you want any of the Disney Classic Storybooks that I have that you want me to review, you can go to my review request video. So you will see a list of books there that you can ask me for review. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, please hit the comment section below. Please do like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram. So until the next video, thank you so much for watching.